Hey guys, Kevin, another movie for guys. Now this movie reviewing, this is a movie that I've been looking forward to for a while now. I'm sure a lot of us have been looking forward to it. It looked like one of the funniest comedies of this year, and finally it has come out, and that movie is Seth Rogen's new animated comedy, Sausage Party. Yes, I have finally seen this movie. I was really looking forward to this movie, obviously. I'm sure a lot of people were. I've told you guys this before. This trailer was so funny that I watched it in, like, the choir room of my school with a bunch of other people. It was that funny, and for me, this looked like one of the funniest comedies of the year by far, and also looked very genius. And I was just really looking forward to seeing how it was going to be. But I also was a little bit worried because I've heard about all the controversy and all the people saying, oh, this is a film that's just controversial to be controversial. So I was a little bit worried going into this, but I wanted to have a good time with this movie, and I have to say, that is exactly what Sausage Party is. It's a good time. Is it offensive? Yes, but it's definitely a good time. It's a lot of fun, and overall, I definitely did have a lot of fun with this movie, and I don't fully understand the controversy, but I'll talk about that. Let's get to the plot of Sausage Party, because the plot of this movie is honestly genius. I really do love the plot in this movie. Basically kind of satirizing, Pixar movies and DreamWorks movies, but especially the Lego movie. That is the movie I think they're trying to satirize the most. Basically, the plot is we focus on this grocery store, and in this grocery store, we have a bunch of different foods and things like that. And they have this hope that once the gods, aka humans, are going to take them, to their house and everything, that they're going to take them to this godlike place called the Great Beyond. And that's what they think is going to happen. But when one of the foods ends up getting used and witnesses what happens, he tries to warn the other foods, and at first, of course, they think he's crazy and everything, but as the movie goes on, they start to realize, especially our main character, Frank, that he may be onto something, and that basically is the plot of Sausage Party, and I really do love the plot of this movie overall, but that's not really the thing that makes this movie as good as it is. The plot definitely is one of the best things, but really I think the thing that makes this movie the most is the cast. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to say, everyone I think here did a fantastic job. You guys expect me probably to say that Seth Rogen's really good, or that Kristen Riggs really good. So I'm not going to say, oh, this person was great, because I think everyone really did a fantastic job. I think everyone really had great characters, and they really all worked really great together. And there's some really clever things they did with these characters, but Seth Rogen, what I liked about his character here is that, yes, he is the usual, loudmouth, raunchy kind of character, but he also is very much the skeptic. He's the one that wants to believe what's going on, but he's not really sure. And I did like seeing that with his character. He did a good job overall. I definitely did like what they did there. And him and Kristen Wiig's chemistry was actually a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I know it's an anime movie, but I think they worked really well together, definitely. I think they both had some really fun stuff together, and yes, most of it is him wanting to have sex with her, but it goes beyond that. You see that they truly do have some sort of true love, and I thought they did a good job with that. I definitely really did enjoy that. Jonah Hill's really good here. Cera was actually probably one of my favorite characters as this deformed, sausage who or hot dog, whatever you want to call it, sausage, hot dog, whatever. He's this deformed hot dog that is kind of bullied by everyone because of how deformed he is, but he ends up being one of the unexpected heroes. I really did love his character overall. I thought he did a very good job, and then there were just some really clever stuff they do. Like, they have this character called Sammy Bagel Jr., obviously parodying Sammy Davis Jr., Edward Norton's character. I think he did a really good job here too. Probably the two best roles, in my opinion, the most surprising, was Bill Hader. I had no idea that he played Firewater, and he knocked it out of the park in this role. I mean, he completely transformed to this role, and that's something that Bill Hader is so good at. I mean, Bill Hader's someone that the more movies I see of him, the more impressed I am, because every role he plays, he really does put 110% into, and you really do see that here. Even a movie where he's playing Firewater, he's playing a drink, and he does a great job. I really love what he did in this movie, and he really was fantastic. And also Nick Kroll as our main villain, which is literally a literal douche, which I think is just so clever the way they did that. Nick Kroll was so funny in this movie. I loved his character. He's foul-mouthed. I mean, all the characters are, but he's the most foul-mouthed. He's the most merciless, and they actually did a good job, I think, with showing us why this character is the villain in the movie and why he becomes a villain in the movie. I thought he had a very good motive, and you kind of understand why he wants to rebel against everyone. He kind of wants to do the same thing that the other foods are doing, but just in a different way, and I like what he did overall. I thought he definitely was really good here, and I thought overall the entire cast really just did a great job. I really loved everyone. There really wasn't anyone I disliked in this movie. I think everyone was really good, and I think everyone really did a great job. Now, as far as the directing goes, the directing was something I definitely knew was going to be really great. Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen, these two at this point, I mean, they just work really good together. What I like about this movie is that it feels significantly smaller from their other movies, definitely. I definitely will say that this feels a lot smaller, and they have a lot more freedom that they can with this movie than something like Neighbors 2, which is a sequel and has a much different audience. And that's something I think that a lot of people need to realize, that a movie like Sausage Party is going to have a much different audience than a movie like Neighbors 2, and that's something I really like they did with Sausage Party. This movie is basically, the best way you can describe it is, this is the end, the animated movie, and that's something I really did like about this movie. It's not the same plot as This Is the End, but it has the same kind of humor, has the same kind of jokes as This Is the End. I definitely really did like that, and the tone here I thought was actually very funny, a lot of fun to watch, and that's something that I definitely really did enjoy. I thought the tone here was very good. The screenplay as well, I mean, this truly is a hilarious film. I really did love the screenplay overall. I think a lot of the jokes hit very well. I was laughing so many times throughout this movie, and there are just some great, clever jokes. Like, Douche had this one joke throughout the entire movie where he'd say things and he'd be referencing other foods, and that's something that can get annoying, but somehow it didn't get annoying. It was actually really funny. I thought it was just a really clever way they did that, and also some of the names and things like that, I thought that was really cool, the way they did that. I mean, just some really clever humor that I definitely really did enjoy. But I will say my only problem with this movie, I do think, is that I think because of what Seth Rogen wanted to do, and because of the liberties he took, I think he did go a bit too far at points. I definitely will say that. Now, I personally wasn't offended, because not a lot of things offend me, but I'm going to tell you guys right out, you will notice offensive humor. There's definitely offensive humor in this movie. It's not, I wouldn't say completely over the top. It's definitely very over the top. I wouldn't say it's completely in your face, but there's a lot of offensive humor and things like that, and it's pretty tasteless, honestly. It really is, but I didn't really mind it. I thought it worked for the kind of movie it was. I think the humor worked in that regard, but some of the humor for me, it just didn't land in the way I wanted it to, and I definitely will say that. I think some of the humor, they did get a bit ahead of themselves and things like that, and I will also say that some of the jokes in the trailer, they're not as funny as when you see them in the actual movie, so I will say that as well. And also, the only other complaint I have is that I do think the movie got a bit too serious in the third act. Not too serious, but just a little bit too serious. I definitely will say that. But other than that, I really did enjoy the screenplay. I thought it was a lot of fun. Is it the funniest movie of the year? No, but it didn't really need to be. I had a lot of fun with it. I had a huge smile on my face watching most of the movie. Either that or I was kind of disgusted, but I overall really did enjoy it. I had a huge smile on my face, and the screenplay definitely was one of my favorite things. And then the cinematography in this movie is honestly one of the best things here. The animation looks incredible, and the animation, they did exactly what they wanted to do. You can tell throughout this entire movie they're trying to parody Pixar and DreamWorks movies. I know people are saying, this is not the first movie to do so, to parody Pixar and DreamWorks movies and the Lego movie and things like that. Well, no, it's not. There have been other movies that have done that, but I think they did a really good job with that. I think the animation here is very glossy. It's a lot of fun to watch, and all the characters look very different. You know, the hot dogs look different than, say, the buns do, and you honestly really do care about most of these characters. It's really strange the way they did that, but I definitely really did enjoy that, and like I said, the animation really looks fantastic here. And then the score as well, I thought the score was really great. There's a really great musical number. The movie opens, actually, with a Disney-style musical number, and when I say Disney-style, I mean they go all out, like everyone's singing. They basically say everything you can't say in a Disney movie, and I just thought it was really clever. I really loved it. Great way to open up the movie. And even though I knew the song going into the movie, because I'm not gonna lie, I've listened to the song so many times before the movie because it's just really great. I still thought it was very well done, and just the fact they were able to get Alan Menken, someone who's done all the classic Disney songs, I thought that was just so clever, so fun, and really just showed what he wanted to do, and that's something I think they did very well. You can totally tell that this is a passion project for Evan Goldberg and Seth Rogen. They're not trying to get an Oscar here. They're not trying to make the next great comedy. All they're really trying to do is just try this out. This is something different than what they've done. People have said that they make a lot of the same movies, and I really do appreciate them for trying to do something different. And honestly, I think it worked really well in the sense they tried something different. And the editing here is great because this movie's really fast-paced. It's only, I think, about 89 minutes, and it just flew by. I was into it the whole time. I heard some people say it feels like 2 hours. I was completely hooked the entire time. I really was into it. Nothing really took me out of the story except for, like I said, a few jokes that didn't hit, but I thought overall that worked very well. And then I guess the only other thing to talk about is the ending of this movie, which a lot of people have been talking about, you know, the whole food orgy scene. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about it. I'm not going to spoil what happens or anything, but here's what I will say about that food orgy scene. Did they go a bit too far? Yes, I will definitely say that. I think they went a bit too far, but I'm not going to lie. I laughed my ass off the entire time. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it worked very well for what they were trying to do, and I thought it was just a really fun way they did that, because again, that's the perfect example of something you can't do in a Disney movie, but it kind of makes fun of all the innuendos in Disney movies and kind of puts them here and just puts them in your face. I do think, like I said, they went a bit too over the top, but I think overall it worked very well. But what I really did love is the ending of this movie. There is a hilarious twist that is very much like the Lego movie, and I'm not going to spoil it, but you guys will know it when you see it, and it is one of the most genius things I have seen in an animated movie in a while. I think it was so well done. I think it was so well handled, and I'm hoping they didn't just set it up for a sequel. I'm going to say that right now. I'm hoping they didn't, because this movie does not need a sequel. If they did, then cool, but I really don't think they need one, so I really hope they didn't do that. But I think it was just a really fun way to kind of parody the Lego movie. I definitely really did enjoy that, and that was something else that was really good. And then I guess the only thing I'll say is that this movie actually does have a genuinely good message, and that's something that I think a lot of people aren't understanding. This movie is not at all anti-religion. Okay, maybe it is a little bit in the sense, but the real message of this movie is just to respect everyone's beliefs. And, you know, if you have a different belief system than someone else, just respect it. Don't try to question it. Don't try, you know, to bash them for their beliefs. And that's something I thought the movie did very well. It actually did have a genuinely good message, even though it's a movie you're not really supposed to take that seriously. I think it had a good message, and that's something I think they did very well. And it's a message that works. It's not something that they shove it down your throats. I think it's a message that worked very well. It definitely worked better than Neighbors too, with that, like I said, that message being shoved down my throats. This message I think worked very well. Definitely really enjoy it, and that's something I thought was very well done. Overall, guys, Sausage Party is a blast. I really did love this movie overall. I had a lot of fun with it. I can't wait to watch it again. Was it as funny as I thought it was going to be? No, I won't say that. I think there were definitely some really big laughs that I had, and because of how much fun I had with it, I'm still going to give Sausage Party a 4 out of 5 or a B+. I really enjoyed this movie overall. I think it's a lot of fun to watch. I will warn you right off the bat, do not take your kids to this movie. In fact, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Before I saw the movie, they had someone from the movie theater come into the theater to check everyone's IDs because they were worried that children were going to sneak in. And whatever you do, don't take your children to see this movie. They'll probably be scarred for life. Just don't take them to it. There are a lot of things here that I really was not expecting, but I thought it was just a lot of fun the way they did it. I had a lot of fun with it, and overall, I definitely would say if you've liked Seth Rogen's other movies, you will definitely like that, and I think overall it's just a lot of fun. It's a very fun popcorn film that I definitely think you'll enjoy, and overall I highly recommend it. So overall, guys, my review of Sausage Party. Let me know what you guys thought of this movie you have seen. Love to hear your thoughts in it. What did you think of the more controversial stuff the movie's getting? Like I said, I don't fully understand it. I do think they went a little bit too far, but it's all just done in fun, really. It's done in fun. It's not meant to offend. It's meant to just have fun with, and I kind of appreciate Seth Rogen for doing that. What you think of the ending? I think kind of the ending was kind of genius, and I definitely really did love that. But overall, guys, my review. Hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for Pretty Little Liars, and we'll see. I know, again, I'm very behind on that, but because of the fact that I don't have a computer, I will finally review it, and I will see you guys for that. Okay, bye.